heroes. You are our last hope, saviors of this world. I know you can do it, as long as you stay... Oh. They're already gone! SideQuest!
Hello, guys. Alright, so... today, something has come to my attention. People might not know about us. So it got me thinking. How do we bring attention to ourselves? We're going to talk about things that people don't know about today. Because clearly that'll get us so much attention. Like, if we just talk about stuff that people have no idea what it is, they're going to come and listen, right? Because we just got to say it confidently. So today we're talking about the hidden gem video games. Either, like, this could be the games that sucked but that we love anyway, or the games that just flew under the radar, or anything really. And you each came prepared, right? Satin, you came prepared. You've got...
I when we were told we were doing this, I thought of two, so...
Alright, Satin, you are prepared. Bingus, nice to see you in a character sprite, my friend.
Yeah, it's also nice to not have sickness in my lungs for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, much the same. I just got over mine.
Yes.
And
I am prepared, I promise.
yeah, C, are you prepared?
Definitely. I love this.
Alright, you got your joints rolled already?
Of course.
Alright, cool. Alright, and Martian, or Azira. Fuck.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Good job. Yes, not only am I prepared, but I have notes.
Oh,
So-
God.
Oh god.
I don't.
Wow. way to blow us out of the water, Zero.
Yeah.
Listen, I was told to give a
Okay,
sales
Mr.
pitch,
Fancy.
and I will shut up.
Doing the assignment party foul.
Yeah, come on.
God, I
How
hope
dare
Game
you.
Theory doesn't touch this game.
You're getting...
Yep.
We're
Maybe if
aiming
you don't
for
talk
we're
about it.
aiming for a solid C- here, and you're putting in a B+ level.
Listen, I graduated cum laude, so
Wow, I graduated.
I don't even know what
You
what that is.
graduated?
Yeah, no,
Barely.
congratulations. You graduated Sigma Cum Laude.
I'm pretty
God,
sure
I
my
wish.
teachers- I'm pretty sure my teachers just didn't want to see me again. So they was like, yeah, you can walk the stage.
Yep, that's pretty much how I got. Anyway,
Please kindly fuck off.
I will now roll a D5. Or I'm gonna roll a D6, and then we'll decide. And just, if it rolls a 6, we'll just roll again.
Show me that Dungeon Master luck. Roll 6 4 times in a row, and then kill a level 1 character.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, I did kill a character just the other night, so who knows? what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
huh, I wonder which character you killed, Noel.
I don't know who it was. But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah,
this
I wonder,
dice
hey,
says
how about-
1.
Do it again.
So, Azira, you're up first.
Hell yeah. All right.
All right.
So,
the overachiever. Everybody, clean your noses. Azira's about to get theirs brown.
okay.
Cool.
So, the games that you guys recommended were a little more like mainstream games. I picked a game from from a solo developer that it only exists on itch.io.com, and it is called Vincent: The Secret of Myers. So, maybe people that are listening to this don't know this, but I am an indie developer, and I have a bunch of like visual novels up on itch.io as well. And this game in particular blew me away. So, I mainly do visual novels myself, but I actually don't like playing them. Like,
reading.
This.
yeah, that's
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to just make a comment here. This gives the feeling of somebody giving a book report on an art film already.
kinda like.
A book report on a film.
That made no sense. Shut up.
I read the first 2 pages, then I read the Spark Notes.
Yep. I told you I'm
Well-
going for that C- level.
So the problem that I have with visual novels, one, I'm not a good reader, and two, if I'm gonna
You're
play a
illiterate.
game, if I'm gonna play a game, I want to have more interactiveness, and visual novels to me aren't interactive enough for me to care about the story.
Ah,
And this
ah,
game in
what a
particular,
shit take.
I'm just saying that that is
It's
my
like
personal
a shot
preference.
to
If
the heart.
that I get that visual novels aren't for everyone, and there's people that like them. I'm not one of those people.
Shit, I
So
even like to choose your
Except
own
for this
story
one.
games.
I like I like the Telltale games because like there is like a sense of like interactiveness
Okay,
to this, but
Telltale games are visual novels in the loosest sense of the word.
exactly. Like
They're-
if I'm gonna engage myself in a visual novel, I want
I
to.
love Telltale, but I would say those are not visual novels.
That's
Yeah, but
fair.
I also like to choose your own
They're
story games
visual
for like on
novels
the
with
phone, like the choice of games. I even enjoyed those.
Wait, the choice
Isn't
of
Telltale like the combination of a narrative, like a
yeah, they're like narrative games.
Yes.
they're narrative games, so it's like the combination of visual novel and walking simulator.
That's pretty much it,
Anyway, we are 5 minutes in, and I have yet to explain what the
yeah.
game is
Welcome to
about.
SideQuest.
Go.
Yes. So the game itself is about a so you play as a character. Her name well actually she doesn't have a name because when you start out the game, she's got amnesia and she literally wakes up in this house. She doesn't know where she is and she doesn't know anything about herself. All that she knows is that she's in this house of a guy named Vincent, and he used to work for a company called what was it? The Myers Corporation.
Wait, so she
And
can
it was
remember his name and his backstory, but she
well,
can't
no,
remember
because
her
he
own
told
name?
her.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I was
yeah,
wondering.
no. And the Myers Corporation was several years ago was involved in a scandal where they basically turned their employees into cannibalistic cyborgs. And
Oh, so Amazon.
they yes.
It's Umbrella.
So they were shut down, but they weren't actually shut down. So like the whole of the game is you interact. So it is a visual novel, but it's also like it's got point and click aspects to it as well. And so the whole point of the game is you enter the old Myers Corporation and you like involve like you try to investigate the area in order to get clues as to who you are and how you play a part into this. And there's a lot of like it's got a lot of like very interesting twists and turns to it, and also the puzzle mechanics are something that okay, so the puzzle mechanics themselves are very reminiscent of the Phoenix Wright game, specifically like the investigation aspect of it, not so much like the court trial. Like it's
Objection.
that kind. Yeah.
Okay, so it's really more like Miles Edgeworth Investigations,
Yes.
Cool.
which is the spin-off of Phoenix Wright, but you're playing as the prosecutor Miles Edgeworth finding evidence, and that's pretty much the entire game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And go ahead.
so you are an amnesiac trying to figure out who you are by walking through the Umbrella Association and listening to some random fucker that you woke up in his house?
Well, no, he's not really involved in the story so much as like you kind of start uncovering things about him because spoiler alert, he plays a bigger role in like your involvement in the company than you initially realize because again, you have amnesia and you don't know this stuff. But
Well,
when you are
hold on, it can't be that
yes.
much of a twist that he's important if you woke up in his house.
Well, it's that. Well, obviously there is an important aspect to him, but it's more so like why he is involved in the first place and where he aligns himself with this like corporation. Because like there's a lot of like there's a lot of aspects of like who because you don't really know who you are at the beginning of this game, and you start to realize, well, okay, does anyone care if I spoil it? Like,
Nope.
I
Well,
mean,
if
No.
you're trying to get us to play it,
okay, then maybe I shouldn't. But there is like,
it's not much
'cause
of a
you get,
sales pitch if you spoil
you know
the
what?
ending.
Yes, that's
I'm not gonna
true.
lie, so far this kind of reminds me of a game called Layers of Fear.
The This does not
I've heard of
remind me
it.
anything
I don't know.
like-
Strong narrative influence, puzzle aspects. If they added jump
Figuring
scares,
out
it would be a
stuff about
FNAF
your-
game.
Okay, hold
Well,
on.
there are
figuring-
yes, there are
See,
jump
I've got
scares.
some-
Oh my god, this is a FNAF game.
Hold on.
Shut up.
See, it does sound a bit like FNAF. Also, I just looked up this bitch. He looks like a FNAF character.
Wow.
Also,
like,
this
Layers of
doesn't
Fear,
sound
you don't know your
anything like
character.
Layers of Fear.
Reason why I say that is because Layers of Fear 1, you also don't really know much about your backstory until you like going around
that's
doing
because-
shit, and you're also going around the area and finding different shit about the person who's at least the first one, the person whose house it is, and the
Well,
second one
yeah,
about
but,
some
like,
other people.
Isn't Layers of Fear? Isn't the game kind of like backwards? Like you know a bit about the painting at the start of the game, and then you go through the game back at the start painting the painting.
Nope, you don't really. You kind of
Well,
develop the painting as you're going on.
I played Layers of Fear, the newest one, which is kind of an anthology game. So you start with the painting and then you go backwards through the games.
Yep, I played that one too.
Yeah, so
The first
that's
one is
the one I
different.
was
The first
thinking of.
one's much more of a
I'll have to
mystery,
check
and
that
you're
out
kind
then.
of figuring it out on
I
your
did a
way.
video on it, so you should go check that out. Hey,
Ooh,
plug.
No, I wanna
Shut
point
the
something
fuck
out.
up.
I want to point something out about this game. Well, I want to point out a couple things about this game. But like the thing that really hits me about this game is that there's a specific puzzle mechanic that this has, where so you find out pretty early on in the game that you, the main character, have this ability where she can grasp a hold of an object, and she can see in the past of the person that had that object. And by doing that, they can, when like there's a point in the game where like you have to find a door code, and the only way that you can find that is you had like a trophy that this guy had on his desk, and so you touch that trophy and you get to see a flashback, like a little scene where you get to find the password for the door. Like that's how you're able to like figure it out, which I
can't
think is a
believe it's not soul
That
locks.
reminds me heavily of Clairvoyance from BTM, aka Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah.
Kind of
Literally
reminds me of the
some
soul
object
locks from
location.
Phoenix Wright.
Okay.
yeah, again, very Phoenix Wright inspired.
See, I've never
Um,
played the Phoenix Wright games. They just
Neither
Like-
have I.
for me.
You never.
So I also want to point out that the Vincent, the titular character, his last name is Edgeworth.
No,
Like
God.
it's not
it's
being
not subtle.
Sky.
It's
No.
not subtle at all. Also, I've just looked up an image of this
That'll be
guy,
bad.
and he looks like fucking Sebastian from Black Butler was in FNAF.
Oh God, what is the game called again? I need to look it up.
It's called Vincent: The Secret of Myers.
He looks like if Sebastian was in FNAF.
So
The art style is phenomenal, though.
the art
Oh,
style
yes.
is cool. I like it, but also like it's just
Also, that is straight up Edgeworth's haircut.
yeah, yeah, it's so the I
Oh my
want to
God, he
give
does.
I want to
He
give the
looks like
developers so
Sebastian.
much props because he uses the same engine that I use for my games, and the fact that he has been able to like Ren'Py itself is not a very it's a very limited engine in what like you can do with that, and he has done or they have gone like above and beyond what is capable of that engine, and I admire that on like a developer's perspective as well. And much so in the spin-off game, which is Therapy with Dr. Albert Kruger, which also takes place in the same universe. By the way, this has like a lot of lore in it. And
okay, so are we gonna call out the obvious like horror names?
oh no, it's again not very subtle.
All
Like
right.
with
Whoever the Victor Blake,
inspiration.
whoever the Victor Blake character is, they look like a badass. They're already my favorite.
Oh,
I like the
Victor's
look.
great. Like he's a very like smooth talker as compared to
He looks like a
Edward's
robot
bitch.
bartender.
Yeah, pretty
He
much.
does
Yes.
look like a robot
And
bartender.
I love it.
I also want to point out that on my notes, I did write out and they were roommates because they are very much gay for each other, even though the game.
And can
I
a
think
man be gay for a robot?
Yeah, it's
Well,
a robot.
It's actually kind of
God
interesting
damn it,
because
you guys are gonna make me choke on my Skittles.
Stop eating while we're being funny.
Here, do us a favor. You can eat a dick.
And Mr. Vincent is probably going to
Taste the
choke on
rainbow,
some
motherfucker.
Victor's votes.
Oh, good lord.
I'm seeing a lot of people who really enjoy this game making me's of these characters in Metopia. Which means that this game is at least popular with nerds who also enjoy quality RPGs.
Yeah, I mean,
They're making me's of it in what?
the
Oh god, this isn't even my niche game.
no
To be
the
fair, I haven't played that in so long, I forgot it existed.
the
gonna look it
sadly, funny that you mentioned the fans of this game because I had the
There are
unfortunate.
none.
What's
Well,
the fandom like?
oh my god, like
There is
it
none.
is very
Oh,
reminiscent of like everything that people hate about Tumblr.
Oh,
Like,
of
great.
course.
because
Oh,
and
okay. So wait, is horny
They
part
are
of
the
thing that they
reason-
hate, or part of the
so
things
here
that
I've got
people
some
like?
bad news about this game.
Oh,
So there
wow.
there is supposed to be when the game is currently not finished. It has one ending out of two endings that are going to be in total. And because
So
like
it's
they
half
have so there's four chapters that have currently been released, and it's a total of 6. And just 2 years ago, the developer went on an indefinite hiatus and said that they cannot keep up with game development or the fandom like with what had gone on with the fandom, where the big thing was that there was a piracy issue, or rather the fans had been uploading assets of the game, because it's very easy to hack into RenPy and like steal assets from games if you know what to do. And so they were just uploading them on like Discord servers, and not to mention, like, again, toxic Tumblr fandom had, which is kind of like hard to grasp as well. And so I don't blame them for wanting to take a step away, especially when, like, real life got in the way. But at the same time, I'm gonna say this: if Dino99Z is
What?
listening to this, I do hope that someday you continue working on this project, because it was such a huge inspiration for the work that I have done. And I very much admire the work that you've put into this and the characters and whatnot. So but if you decide not to, that's also fine. Like, but I do hope that you decide to finish that game. So that's my sales pitch for Vincent the Secret of Myers.
All right. So
So what I'm hearing is, hey, stop doing it.
yeah. All right. So does anyone have any questions for Azira about what sounds like fan fiction, the game?
It is okay.
Sorry.
I see you heard none of
You
what I
almost
just
made
said.
me- you almost made me drop my blood. In slit.
I listened, I promise. It's just like I've been wanting to make that joke since you started talking.
Okay, you know what? Fair. Like, however, now I have a question for you, Noel.
All right.
Will you finally play that on Null Voices?
I'll try if I can
No.
get. I tried to play this game
I
on
will-
no voices.
I will make it work. I will force you to play that at
there was-
gunpoint.
there
Just
were-
remember, Noel, downvotes are not downvotes. Dislikes are still engagement.
Yeah, I know. I have like 2 videos that only have dislikes, but I tried to play this game. The first time I tried to play this game wouldn't fucking turn on. Second time I tried to play this game, it wouldn't record on OBS. So I don't know how to play this game. I will figure it out one day.
You will. All right.
Or
Who wants?
Azira's gonna fire me.
Yeah.
You have
Oh,
to
so
give
we're
the game
now
a
we're
blood
now
sacrifice
acknowledging that this is
to
my
win.
podcast now. I see how it is.
I tried to give you this podcast one time, and you told me you didn't want it.
You didn't try to give it to me. You're like, oh, you're gonna do all the fucking work.
I did not say that. I said you're the
You-
boss.
Noel basically won this podcast in a game of cards, guys.
All right, give me your questions.
Yeah. Like,
All right.
Give a card. Wasn't even paying attention to the fucking cards.
I don't.
I don't really have any questions.
I don't really
You
know.
explained it quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a question. What's Metopia?
Oh, right, Metopia.
Yeah. Just.
Okay, so imagine an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with the Nintendo Wii?
Yes, we have played.
And do
Wii
you remember
together.
when the Nintendo Wii, you could create Miis, which were
Yes.
basically just okay. Now imagine a game on the Nintendo 3DS and the Nintendo Switch
Mm-hmm.
where you could create Miis in more detail than the original Mii makers, like
Okay.
down to
Yeah. All right.
like placing individual shapes to like really flesh out faces and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and then put those faces on NPCs
Yeah.
and make your own like dream RPG party with a whole bunch of like different fun classes
Okay.
and just a really unique battle system and like a that's
Alright.
Metopia.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's
The
like you
whole
make your own. It's like you make your
Yeah.
own RPG
All right.
world.
I got
Like,
another.
so-
I got another dice here. It's a D4 this time since Azira is out,
Yes.
and we'll go with 1 being C and 4 being Satin, and then Bingus and
Yeah.
me being 2 and 3. And it is a 2, so Bingus.
I was hoping to go second.
Yes.
First
your
off,
game?
before I begin, my game is a little indie title called Project Zomboid.
And if I,
Still in early access.
yeah, I do
since
believe that is the most
2010.
modern of any of our selections.
Probably. It started development in 2010 and it is still in active development, and it is quote unquote nearing its most recent build 42, but I feel like it might still be a
Yeah.
couple of years yet. This last build has been in 5 years
Well,
in development.
Yeah, but I will say I do know a little bit about this game because it has been gaining more traction over the last few months, right?
Yes, it has been becoming less and less of a hidden gem, so I figured I would talk about it before it reached full-blown mainstream status.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Indie Stone, wonderful developers who are incredibly attentive to their fan base, but do not care about anything that they ask for because this game is supposed to be incredibly realistic and hard, and they give us incredible modding tools so that people who don't feel like they're being listened to can just make what they want instead.
Yeah.
The general gist of Project Zomboid is to be a more immersive, more realistic, grittier zombie survival game in the style of those old Fallout-esque isometric top-down style. You are a randomized character, by which I mean you can build your character as optimally or as suboptimally or as roleplay heavy or as gung-ho as you want. You can customize race, name, hair, clothes to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
And you are dropped in the middle of Knox County, Kentucky
Ah.
on
Oh,
July 3rd, 1993.
Okay.
I'd get shot immediately.
Why is that
Wait,
significant?
Wait, so this takes place in
That's just-
1993?
Yes, the Project Zomboid takes place in 1993. You
What's, like, the
wake up.
story behind that?
Your character wakes up, and the entire county of Knox County has been quarantined by by the government because there was something called a Knox infection. Sources vary on where the Knox infection started. Some say that it was a government experiment gone wrong from some random government base you can find out in the wild.
Oh.
Some say that it spawned from a bad burger at a Spiffos.
Mm.
Some say it's just like a regular virus, but it swept over this entire county.
Just that county?
As far as the government wants you to know, yeah, the virus is contained within Knox County.
Okay.
But that's
Sure,
totally
maybe
why
the
you don't
government would
see any
never
like
lie.
living people around anymore. There were two waves: a regular like infectious like zombie-like virus that killed people, and then it was spread through blood and saliva, and then there was an airborne strain that infected everyone except for very, very few immune people who are you, the player characters.
Oh, okay.
booting into a level or booting into a run, you are greeted with the phrase. Yeah, let me just pull it up so I don't muck up the phrasing here. Oh, these are the end times. There is no hope of survival. This is how you died.
Okay.
There is no end game. There is no win condition. There is no escaping Knox County.
Huh.
You wake up, you survive as long as you can, you kill as many zombies as you feel is necessary. Until one unlucky scratch, one bite from a zombie from behind, one infected cut because you jumped through a window and didn't clear the glass first, one horribly unlucky laceration because you walked through a tree and it slit your neck.
What the hell?
The-
What kind of tree
what?
is that?
I mean, you know how
It's a Vietnamese tree.
Oh, you know how it is when trees just shiv you.
Yeah,
Like,
it
you-
kills
in
Okay,
the
you
back.
ever if
Those
you've
are
actually
gangster
walked
trees.
through like
Trees
the
with
woods
wisdom.
and you don't have adequate protection,
Yeah,
you
like,
can
without-
absolutely get cut.
Well, yeah, like
Yeah, but
I've
not
walked-
die from it.
I've walked barefoot and
Okay.
shirtless through the woods. Like I've been cut
That's
by a tree. I've not had my throat slit by a tree. Also, Azira, what were you about to say?
No, it wasn't of anything of importance, but also like, why were you barefoot and half naked in the forest?
I
That's the
don't
real
fucking
question.
know. That was like 2 weeks ago.
What do you mean you don't know? What were you doing?
I don't remember.
What do you mean you don't remember?
It's all part of the lore. Don't worry about it.
And I thought I've done some crazy shit, but
The more you play the game, the more you realize that some things that you find in a lot of very popular zombie media just doesn't seem really feasible in real life. Souping up your car, you can get your car perfectly built up. You can get your mechanics levels all the way up. You can fix all your cars, and then you can plow through about 7 zombies and break your hood.
Yep.
Because apparently, running people over is not good for the car.
Okay, now here's a small side note. I built a car when I was in school. And I did build it incredibly fucking wrong,
I believe that.
but I was able to drive through 4 trees. And it kept running.
So what I'm hearing is you built a car like the old way, where it was like a solid chunk of steel.
Yeah, and the engines, there were 2 of them, were in the trunk.
oh god,
So it was just
that's a fucking battering ram.
Yeah, well, it was
Explains what happened to the 4 trees.
Yeah, it was originally like a truck. So I put 2 engines in the bed and then put I don't know, just put a bunch of heavy shit where the hood was so that it balanced out. And then well, if you do that, apparently the steering is way out of like I am way over the weight limit for the typical steering on this thing. So that snaps and then just drives straight. So you kind of just gotta hold on at that point. Luckily, I didn't have any glass in it, so it was fine.
Yes, glass.
Nope, no glass to shatter all over me. I just had steel where the glass should have been.
I just want to point out that you streamed Project Zomboid in this server, and I instantly fell in love with it because it like opened up like a part of like my like nostalgia that I had
Yeah.
forgotten. Like, did any of you play Roblox as a kid?
No, I
no.
have a
I
perspective
was
myself.
really little.
My
Yeah,
wife and her friend play Roblox today.
I mean, like there was a game, and I don't know if it's still on there. It was called Apocalypse Rising, and I used to play that for hours. Like it was another like zombie survival game. Like it wasn't realistic by any means like the way that Project Zomboid was, but like it was so much fun to like play that with friends. And I as soon as as soon as I watched you play that game, I immediately went and bought it so that we
Yeah.
can play it together.
Yes,
So
we do have to do that. perhaps tomorrow.
Even though I don't
I mean,
like
you've
North,
already sold me on it.
Yeah,
see, even though I don't like
Satin, I
North
already know
Zombie
that you've
Media,
bought it too.
I'm planning
Oh,
to
Zomboid,
with
yeah.
my next paycheck.
All right. C.
Zomboid,
That means that you're the only one who
what I
who
have
doesn't have a plan
seen
on it.
of Zomboid so far, it kind of reminds me of like a top-down. This might be a massive insult, but just the vibe of it gives me like a top-down Rust kind of feel.
I can see how you can get Rust from this. It's really closer to something like DayZ, which is
Yeah,
not a big
yeah.
improvement.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. It kind of reminds, from what I've
It's
seen of it, it reminds me of
it's
DayZ.
reminiscent of DayZ, especially when you get into the non-whitelisted multiplayer servers.
Okay.
When you open the game, it does say, "Hey, the best multiplayer experience you can get is either with your friends or on one of our whitelisted servers. You have been
Which
warned."
is which is a great way of saying, hey, if you don't do that, you're gonna be called a slur.
You're gonna be
They
called a
also,
slur. You're gonna be beaten to death with somebody walking around with a I don't know, a red electric guitar.
yeah, see, that's why I don't play
Or
online games. Because
the
I'll have
Godzilla
one
of
of my
dildos.
friends hack their shit and empty their bank account.
Unfortunately, they do not have those weapons standard. I'm sure people have modded them in.
Oh God. Now I
Um,
You
wanna.
can't hit anyone with a dildo.
Damn. Now
You
I
Oh
can't.
wanna.
god,
You
you
So what's
can't,
the
can if you
point?
can
you
find
can't
one.
Saints Row it. Every time I think of a dildo weapon, I just think of Saints Row.
My brain immediately goes not.
I mean,
Saints
look,
Row.
I went to Dead Rising.
Yep, Dead Rising for me as
Oh
well.
yeah, that too.
there's
I
a lot
forgot
of
about
fun to
that,
be
right?
had in this game, even though you can't like pick up a gun and just immediately have that power fantasy of spraying things down. Because much like in real life, shooting a gun for long periods of time is a lot harder than you think. Guns are finicky, unreliable, loud, and will often run out of ammo just as soon as you've alerted the entire town to your location.
Yeah, that's
But
that's about
you
how
can't.
that goes.
You're
But you can get into a car, honk the horn until the entire population of Muldraugh, Kentucky decides to walk up on your doorstep. Then, because of how zombies are, if you're playing on your default settings in like apocalypse mode, walk faster than the zombies. Craft a Molotov cocktail out of some old rags from a torn up t-shirt
And a
and
bottle of Jim
of
Beam.
Oh, Jim, don't waste bourbon on a Molotov. You crack open an old bottle of perfume. And then you just you just walk down the highway watching an entire horde of zombies burn to a crisp.
Okay.
And that's your power
Fun.
fantasy.
I was
Unless you get so tired that you start slowly slowing down and then
Alright.
you catch on fire
I
and then you get eaten and that is how you died.
I was going to Steam to buy this game, but it is $20 and I do not have it.
You know what I say to that?
What?
Wah.
Cockfuck.
Give me
Yeah,
fucking
womp
money.
womp.
Internet,
happily-
give me money.
I would happily buy it for you, but I too do not have $20.
Yeah.
I have an
That's fair.
excuse.
I also have excuses.
I haven't got my first paycheck yet, so
I just got over COVID.
I just got over pneumonia.
Yep.
Yeah. Again,
I mean,
shout out to Indy Stone. Build 42's coming up soon. They're planning on adding livestock, like wild animals. They're planning on adding NPCs in some key locations. Huge weapon reworks. Just overall improvements to the game's like performance and graphics. Hundreds of new items. Improvements to like leveling systems. They really wanted to just revamp the game in a real stand-up way.
Yeah.
And again, it's been in development for 5+ years. Just this build, the entire game has been in early access since 2010.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a passion project to end all passion projects. I don't know how many people are working at IndieStone, but I know that every day they go into work, they probably either love or hate the work that they're doing.
Yeah.
See, from
probably.
what
I will
from what I've heard of the game, it sounds good. I'm not a huge fan of most zombie media because my family has burnt me the hell out of that shit. But I love zombie games.
I will say
Yeah,
it
I would-
also
I feel
It
like
has
if
a-
you joined us, we could all play on Null Voices or just have a SideQuest Zomboid playthrough where
For
we're all
sure.
We definitely should do. We need to get some side quest series going. I know I'm working on the one, and have we announced that yet?
Probably.
All right.
The
Well, anyway,
Pixelmon?
I'm working on Pixelmon. I'm editing it. I was working on it until I died.
right.
It
Now,
happens.
there are 3 of us left. So, I need a.
Yeah.
I don't
Play
have
Zomboid.
I do not have a D3.
I do have wait. I must say. I just wanted to
Does
say
anyone
this.
have any questions before we proceed?
Yes, we need questions.
Yes. Well, this is more of a statement. This game also, one thing that it does remind me of is like the things that I really liked about like Don't Starve, where like, even though Don't Starve has like an end game, it's very
Does
it gives you a lot of like sense of hopelessness, and every time you die you have to start from the very beginning.
Oh
So-
yeah,
Don't
absolutely.
Starve
At least you
has
can
an
find your
endgame?
zombified remains in this game, or you can set up
Oh,
you can set up a way that you don't zombify. Like
Yeah.
if you
It's
get
like
bitten
that
or if
one-
you start feeling queasy from a
Well-
zombie scratch, you can always just lock yourself in a secluded room and drink an entire bottle of bleach.
Yeah. Well,
See,
wait,
I
wait,
was
I
gonna,
just
I was
need.
gonna ask that. I was gonna ask if the zombie you like is still in the world. Like, there's a
Yeah, they're
2
still
other
in the
zombie
world, and
games.
all of your gear is still on them,
Yeah.
I
aside from
love that.
anything that fell off during the fight.
There's
I'm just.
there's like 2 other zombie games I've
I'll talk
played
to my 20
that
zombie.
does that. One of them, which is my personal one of my favorite zombie games, you get to play as like a group of people, and if your character gets zombified, like the rest of them can go and find, like next person you play with can go and find them and kill them and take their shit.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, no, you can absolutely. It's really embarrassing to get eaten by your old zombie corpse. It's
Yeah.
happened to me a couple of times.
Well,
Auto cannibalism.
See, normally I would get upset with games that make you die a lot, but if it has a fun twist like that, I wouldn't mind dying a lot.
Oh yeah, no, this game there is no. I guess there's no real mid or end game. Again, it's just like you survive until you find a place that you can feel relatively safe, and then you just have fun challenges until you get eaten from behind or do something stupid, make a mistake, and
yeah.
unfortunately keel over, and then you get to do it all over again.
Or you'll make the
Again,
one
just like
mistake
Don't
of
Starve.
accidentally stepping on a twig too hard.
As
causing
far as
crack.
accessibility goes, this is huge. You can play a zombie survival game. They have so many options. You can turn off infection. You can turn off zombies.
Huh. What do you do then?
Then it just
You can
becomes
just
a
again,
Fallout.
it's just like an accessibility feature, right?
Okay.
Like you can play the game as like a truly like last man on earth, scrounge for whatever you can.
Like Long Dark.
Yeah, like the long dark. Only instead of being in the middle of Canada in the frigid winter, you're just surviving in Moldra in like I guess early fall.
Okay. Yeah.
It's still struggling.
Yeah.
And you can still die of like really embarrassing accidents.
Yeah.
For example, the aforementioned walking through a bush and slitting your throat.
Yeah.
See, I
so
feel like you're talking
ridiculous.
about that from experience as
Oh
well.
yeah, no, I've gotten a laceration on my neck because I played with a thin-skinned character and I walked through a tree.
All right.
I didn't have any clothing that I could rip up, and I did bleed out and die in a tree.
Oh God, the tree
Alright,
murdered
well,
you.
let's see. Let's
That's
hear more.
Zomboid though.
Let's hear more. I've got a D6 and 1-2 will be Cameron. 3-4 will be me, and 5-6 will be Saturn. And we roll, and it's 1. So C.
Oh
Let us-
shit.
Let us hear about.
All eyes on you, or all
Yes.
ears rather.
Also, I have decided to change.
No,
my
I've got
game
my
to
eyes
what
on
I was
him.
gonna talk about
I've got my eyes on him. I am living in his walls.
because
So-
I just fucking yeah. As
The
we-
game I have chosen is a classic for my household, at least a childhood classic. Shit came out when I was like 4 years old.
Yeah.
How old?
Bloodrayne. I was like 4. Fuck you.
Foe.
Bloodrayne 2. Because yes, the first one was okay, but the second one was just so much better. You pretty much play as, not pretty much, you literally play as a Dampier, which is a half vampire, half human woman named Rain. Rayne. They spelled it weird.
Yeah, bitch can't spell rain.
But
They
like it's
spelled it
set,
weird, which means it's cool.
Any
yeah.
relation to Reynold, the highwayman from Darkest Dungeon?
I don't know what that is.
Never mind then.
But of course, because it was set in the early 2000s and the first one came out almost 90s, so of course they're going to try to do that edgy, weird spelling shit. But like it's set technically, it's kind of loosely connected to the first one, but it's set like 66 years in the future from the first one. The first one was set in like 1933, and this one is set in the early 2000s. It very much has that early 2000s, late 90s vibe with everything, especially the characters. And it is very much at times, a beat 'em up. It reminds me of an early version of the Uncharted and even the Batman games in some ways, when you're facing off against a whole bunch of lower rank opponents that are normally other vampires or vampires, and then you have your special boss fights against the big bads, which in this game happen to be the half siblings of Rain, as her father is a hoe. That goes literally. He goes around having children with various women.
That sounds
Slapping
problematic.
cheeks left
It
and
is
right.
it is very much problematic. They use the heavy R word.
Uh-huh.
He is an
Oh,
asshole, and he is technically a Nazi.
okay. So he's just checking off all the boxes.
Yes, he is fucking horrible. And
Few
like
more
when the
bad
main
things you can add to
character,
him real quick? Did he kick a
besides,
seal one time?
he probably did. I wouldn't be surprised.
Club
His
the baby
whole,
seal. Get this
his
right.
whole, him and his cult, the cult of Keegan. His name is Keegan.
That is a bitch name.
That is an absolute
Egan.
bitch name.
Apologies to Keegan Michael Key though.
Who?
He'd probably agree. Let's be.
The fuck
Key
is
and
that?
Peele. You got to look up Key and Peele later. They're fucking legends.
Hmm.
But
Oh wait, yeah, I know who that is. Never mind.
but like when your character first meets her father and talks about like why she wants to kill him and all that, he's like, "Oh, I barely recognize you. I've had so many kids the same way. Like you're nothing. Like you're a dime a dozen type shit."
Damn.
But you assume he gets killed by the end of the first little missing thing. But his
You
kids are
assume
still. Yes, you assume that.
Ah, so he doesn't.
No, this motherfucker's still running around. His fucking kids. There's so many of these bastards. Really, only the female ones are interesting.
Hmm. See? Buddy.
It's not my fault. They did it.
That's not
Like-
even what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say is how many of your D&D characters have been inspired by this bastard?
Actually, none of them, surprisingly.
Really? Because I can point out a certain fucking mermaid who seems to have an interestingly similar story.
I didn't think of this game when I was creating none of the characters. To be honest, I haven't thought of this game in a long time.
Okay, because just the absolute bastard of an absentee father with just hordes of children who either serve him or hate him sounds a bit like Leviathan.
It
Follow-up
really-
question: how many
it
of your
really
characters
does.
from this point forward will be inspired by this character?
Oh, it's
Too
some
many.
of them, not just this character, but the fucking daughters. In particular, there's one daughter that has very long claws, and her body is covered. Her name is, I can't pronounce that shit.
Spell it.
Try it. Try it anyway.
Do your best.
For real? For real? It's
Spell it.
Ferril.
Feral.
Yeah, feral.
Feral.
She is definitely feral. This
Did you just
bitch
say
has
for
long-
real?
Her name is for real.
Stupid
Her
bastard.
name
You
is for
stupid
real.
bastard.
Never meant to make your mom cry.
I am for real.
She reminds me of what would create if Rawshank from Watchmen, the witch from Left 4
Did you
Dead.
say Rawshank?
I can't pronounce his name
Rorschach.
either.
Rorschach.
Rorschach.
Is it
Yeah.
Rorschach? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tongue tied, so I'm not even gonna try.
No, you're fucking.
Rorschach.
There's a difference between
If
tongue-tied
what
and
I
stupid.
imagine if him and the witch from Left 4 Dead fucked and had a kid, this is what they would have. Her
Well, one
body
of
is
them is
covered in
dead,
these.
so
Hmm.
That don't. She's dead too. I don't think that'll stop her.
Ugh.
yeah.
Especially
Okay.
considering her father is a vampire, he still got it up.
Nope. We're
her
good on
entire
that.
her entire naked body is covered in a tattoo design that literally shifts and changes, like as she's
Oh
just
yeah, you were telling me about this.
yeah. She has really long black claws, and then she has these weird ass feet that look like they're both feet and high heels at the same time.
What
Ugh.
is she, Bayonetta?
She does give me Bayonetta vibes. You assume that she was going to be the leader of the cult, for her siblings and shit. But oh and behold, the rest of her siblings are just as assholes as her and get rid of her, the most interesting of all the fucking villains.
Alright, I'm looking her up right now. Oh damn.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, what is this? I need to
Oh, please turn on your safe search.
Wait, you gotta post in the chat.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm not putting this in the podcast. I'm gonna put this in off topic. Go and just explain this, see?
I mean,
Wait,
I
hold
might
on.
edit it in. Who knows?
Where's off topic?
Okay, I can't edit that in, but
I wish you
not-
could.
I don't think that's not from the
For
game.
all of those at
hey,
home,
we need to
the
describe it.
character
We need to
Feral
describe it.
It
For
is-
all of those characters at
somebody
home,
add-
this
somebody-
character, the image that was posted in our off-topic chat, seems to be a picture of the aforementioned character Feral, with two cannons in place of her breasts.
Oh, what
Yeah,
the
I don't
The
think
cannons have little fuses,
like
which
the-
may be symbolic of something.
It's
Yeah,
like
that
those
was not in the
fembots
game,
from Austin
by
Powers.
the way. That's not from the game. Somebody
Alright.
made that shit.
Yeah, I know
That's
somebody
fan-made.
made that. Also, what is this
When
red
life
one?
gives you cannons, make a cannonade.
What is this red one? I like the red
What?
one.
What red one?
This red one.
Is it an off topic?
Yep.
It looks like the same character but red.
Yep.
No, that is one of her sisters, I believe.
Oh, well, I like her better. It says this is Feral.
That might be actually. Some of these bitches look the same.
Alright.
She was killed by one of her sisters and one of her boring ass brothers, who's the brother's name is, I'm not saying his first name. His last name is Mistopheles.
No. Let's hear it. Let's spell it.
You're expecting him to spell. That's adorable.
It's XER.
Wow. Okay.
Nope. I
it's-
heard XER.
Yep. His name is so
XERX.
Zerx?
Yeah, Zerx.
Zerx.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like Zerx Mistopheles. He looks like. It's
So it
bad.
seems like a play on both Xerxes and Mephistopheles.
Yeah, let's look up Zerx Mistopheles. Zerx
I must say, and I
Mistopheles.
don't want to. I don't want you to see. I don't
Google
want you to
didn't
take
even know who
offense.
that is.
Like, you know,
Zerx?
I'm.
You didn't
Say it.
pronounce his last name correctly. Zerx Mephistopheles.
That's what I said, Mistopheles.
No, you
Mistopheles.
said Mistopheles.
Well, I'm also.
Why
You're not
again,
tongue-tied.
tongue-tied.
You ain't
That shit
tongue-tied, boy. You ignorant.
I actually am tongue-tied. This shit hurts to say certain words.
Stuff.
If it hurts, I'm not going to say it right.
Yes, Zerx Mephistopheles.
Google is upset with my spelling.
I will post an image.
Alright, thank you.
You could also look up Bloodrayne characters, and there's a whole list of them.
Yeah, that'll
Like
that-
they have
that'll
they have a
take too long.
sister. It was Zerg Mistopheles and their sister Ephemera, who helped kill. Yeah, who helped kill the feral chick.
No.
Ephemera
Now,
literally
this
looks
is
like a
completely
woman
different
and
from
a
Legends of the
suit.
Multi-Universe, right?
Again,
Oh,
don't
wow.
know what that is either.
Just a different character with the exact same name. I see one where Zerx also has a swastika.
Yeah, like I said, they're Nazis.
Ah, okay. Then this
Well-
might be a better representation of the character.
Who the fuck is this?
They are very much Nazis.
What is... Alright.
That's like
They
a
changed- Okay, yeah, they changed the swastika to a less obviously,
but we all know,
Yeah,
like
that's a less...
and yet here's another image where it's literally just swastikas.
Well, they made it. Yeah, those are just that.
What if
man,
it's
I
backwards?
hope that the other people in this server
Okay. One of these is
Are
a
okay.
swastika, and the other of these is I believe it's like an Indian symbol for peace.
Yep.
The other one. Wait, no. The other one is just a cube.
But
Well, no,
pretty
no, no.
much
I don't mean
bad
the cube.
guys-
I mean one of these guys has a backwards swastika.
Oh, one guy's wearing
Which
his
is a symbol
armband
of peace.
upside down.
It's inverted.
Oh,
That's the whole thing. If it was upside down, it would still be a swastika.
oh.
who
yeah,
are these
that's
two
right.
dudes?
There's Zerx and the other guy.
Zerx and the other one.
Yeah. And Zerx.
She has about
The other Hemsworth.
she has a lot of fucking siblings. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are
She
they
has 12
siblings or are they half siblings?
half siblings. This where I
Dad
come from, we're
slut.
still siblings. Yeah, the dad is a whole. The mother is unnamed because she died, I
Who is
believe,
this
giving birth.
woman
All
with
of them?
Wait, who is the woman with eyeball bondage?
Yeah, that's her. That's if Mara.
Wait, share that with the group.
She helped kill.
Do you
the
have enough
feral
body
chick.
horror to share with the class?
Yes, I do.
In her eyes, instead of having normal eyes, she literally just has black pits.
With bondage.
Yep.
Oh.
Why?
Fuck if I know.
'Cause because it is vampires in the early 2000s / late 90s.
That's
I mean,
Like
hey,
the game
consent is key
developers,
as long as your eyes consented.
the game developers had a certain vision for this game.
Oh yeah, it's the author's barely disguised fetish.
Yeah, barely disguised
and
fetish.
let me remind you, I was playing this at 4 years old and older.
Oh boy. You know, see.
Also, wait,
I
didn't
understand your personality now.
didn't you mention that this had movies plural?
Yes, this ended up the games only ever got like an average rating, which to me was bullshit because they were really fucking fun, and they had a lot of
Now-
unique mechanics to beat some of the villains. But they actually ended up having movies. They had 3 live action movies in total, and I believe at least 1 or 2 animated films. And they had
Now, if
originally
I can
planned.
ask, the
to-
live action movies, can you only find those at like adult bookstores now? Adult video stores?
No, actually, the live action movies are more toned down than the games are.
Wonder fucking why.
I would love to have seen how they did the eyeball bondage in
Live action.
in live action.
With practical
honestly
effects.
I honestly don't remember her being in a live action movie, but I do slightly remember the feral chick being in a live action movie, and it being cool how they did it.
Okay.
Cannon boobs and all.
But they had originally planned to do a crossover with Blade because of their similarities, them both being half vampires, who are
Really?
killing off their vampire relatives type shit.
Like it
But
was
for
that
some
big?
reason, it just never happened. Like it had a huge, like, not a huge mainstream following, but it had a huge
Cult
like,
following.
yeah.
Ironically named giant cult following.
But like it fell through because the movies didn't do well enough.
And because Blade fell through.
Yeah, and Blade also fell through. And so
Yeah, so every part of
But,
that
like-
crossover fell apart.
there would have been a literal perfect fucking crossover for each other, and
Yeah.
I'm so pissed it didn't happen.
I think it did happen like in some comics or something.
Yeah, because I forgot there were comics of these as well.
I might be misinformed.
Are
but
these also found in the adult section?
probably?
Probably.
These are definitely
'Cause the
M-rated.
comics aren't as toned down as the movies were.
As much as I enjoy this conversation, we really should get a move on.
Oh yes. We
Yeah,
do
we
need to-
Any
we should, but I
questions?
just want to make I just want to point this out. I just looked up the Bloodrayne movie, and it got a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, is
Not
that
that
a user or
baby.
critic?
not that Rotten
Audience-
Tomatoes gives a shit, like anyone
Wait.
gives a shit about
Audience
them, but
scores or
Yeah,
critic scores?
let me double check.
Critic or audience? That's a big
If
difference.
Yeah,
it's 4% critic and like 98%,
17% audience.
Oh boy, it sucks.
Yeah, wow, dog shit then.
Yeah, it was very much a disappointment after playing the games. I was happy to see like the people live action for once, but I prefer the animated films.
There's not enough cleavage on the poster.
Wow,
Of
this,
course
com-
you
this
did that.
coming
How am I
from-
supposed to
that would have
enjoy
added
this?
at least
This-
5 points.
This coming from the person who's very much like anti-sexualization.
Me?
Yes, you.
I meant in like the aspects of a character. I don't mean that I don't
Oh, yeah,
like boobies.
The
Like
game very much has like when you can literally just feed on the
if that's
people
what you're
fighting.
going for, then do it. Like
I would say you can like in the middle of the combat feed on the people you're fighting, and it is very sexual. And then the
Mm.
fucking blades are so beastly, like they actually suck in like the blood from the people you're fighting, so you can store blood.
Oh, okay.
We have 2 more
Yeah,
wonderful
we got-
gems to talk
Yes.
about. As
You know
much as
what?
I want to keep hearing about vampire titties.
There's. All right.
Noel Staten, don't disappoint.
All right. So
Even
do
if your
you
games don't have them,
do
talk
you
about
want-
vampire titties.
Do you want odds or evens?
Flip a coin.
just flip a coin.
I don't have a coin. I have a dice.
I have a
Flipping
coin.
You could
I have a
do it. You could do it on Google.
Heads.
Noel, go.
All right, cool. Shit, I don't know. I lost my train of thought so hard that I forgot what game I was going to talk about. So now I'm going to talk about something else. Emily is away, motherfuckers.
Oh, excellent choice.
Yes.
It would be more of a hidden gem if Jacksepticeye didn't already play it several years ago.
That is true. But also, it doesn't get talked about enough, so I'm going to talk about it.
ahead.
So, Emily is away. Moving away from violence and anime titties. You guys like Facebook?
I
No.
prefer AOL Instant Messenger.
That is Emily is Away 2, motherfucker. Which also a great game. But yeah, so Emily is Away is a game entirely based around Facebook in the early 2000s. Dial-up internet included. You
Really more
pl-
like MySpace.
No, it's Facebook. It's Face Nook in the game. Or Fake Nook in the game or something.
Fake Nook.
Yeah. I think in the earlier versions of the game, it was actually called Facebook because the earlier version of the games was so indie that it didn't really have to worry about copyright, but then it got slightly bigger and they did have to make...
Yeah, then Jacksepticeye played it.
Yeah, then Jacksepticeye played it and they had to make localizations of the names. That's not the right word, but that's the word I'm going to go with.
They had to change it so that it was compliant with copyright.
Yes, compliant names. So the game is you are a high school senior and you are on Facebook. And you have your friends. There are 3 main friends you talk to: Matt, Emily, and Ava. And you are a guy, and you want to date Emily or Ava, depending on your choices in the game. But you go through the entire school year messaging these people, and they're written so well. They feel like actual messages you could receive from somebody. Like, I've played the game on my channel. It's one of my least popular series. But
No,
that's
that's saying something.
yeah, nobody fucking watched that shit. But it is such an enjoyable game that the writing is so well done and the people feel so real that a lot of the time when I was playing, I didn't think about it that I was playing a game. I was thinking about like, oh, I gotta talk to these people. I want to talk to this person. I want to talk to this person. Ah, shit, I don't like this situation I'm in. Like, a lot of these situations felt real and they felt so well thought out that I kind of couldn't separate it from reality. Like, at one point in my playthrough, I ended up dating Ava. Not Ava, Emily. I ended up dumping Ava. But I haven't talked to Ava in like 2 chapters of the game. I don't really know what's happening with her. Anyway, that's a little awkward. But at one point, Emily, who is my girlfriend now, was talking to this dude. Fucking dude is a creep. Forgot his name. He's not important. But
Mr. Creep.
yeah, Mr. Creep.
Let's call him Johnson.
Johnson?
Mr. Creeper. Johnson the Creeper.
Nah, he's not a Johnson. He's like a fucking Kyle.
I do have to make one small note,
Yeah.
just to clear up the timeline. Emily is Away 1 is play on AOL Instant Messenger. Emily is Away 2 is when Facebook shows up. And recently they came out with a game called Emily is Away $3. So it looks like a
What?
heart, but it is they recently came out with a third in the franchise.
And what's that played on?
Also Facebook, but now during the age of Internet Explorer.
Huh.
So it looks
I
like
don't
late
know
2000s,
which
early
game I'm
2010s.
playing then.
Sounds like you're playing Emily is Away 2, spelled Too,
Nope.
like as well.
Not
No?
that one.
Is it Emily is Away
Heart, maybe.
Heart? Yeah, because Emily is Away
Entirely
Heart
could
is
be.
the third one. It's 2008 and AIM is dead is the tagline.
Yep, that one. Fuck. Well,
You're playing the third game in the series.
See, this is why you should have taken
play 'em
notes.
backwards.
well,
You should just
I
play 'em
have
backwards.
I have not played either
No,
of
no,
the
play-
other ones. So, well, anyway, we're talking about the third game now. Shit doesn't fucking matter at all. You can pick up anywhere in the series and it still be enjoyable. Clearly.
course.
Because I'm enjoying the third game fucking perfectly well. Anyway, so at one point, this creep, Kyle, or whatever his name is talking to Emily, and your buddy Matt, he thinks he's being a bro, right? Because
Ugh.
you can't talk to Kyle. And Matt, for his part, is being a good friend here. But, like, he just put me in a situation that I, as a person, would hate and did hate in the game. That Matt gave you his account for a bit because Matt was friends with Kyle on Facebook and the player character is not. So you, in Matt's account, can talk to the guy.
Oh.
Which was not really something I enjoyed very much, but it was a very, like, realistic situation.
2008.
Yeah, but in 2008. And the entire time I was doing that, I was like, can I just talk to Emily? I just want to talk to Emily. I don't want to talk to this guy. I'm not going to ask any questions that would actually incriminate him or Emily because I refuse to be part of this situation. So I just,
Well,
like...
of course you can't talk to Emily. Emily is away.
No, she was... I could have talked to Emily. I could have waited till she came back. But, yeah, so I was just there, and I talked to that guy for a good, like, 5-10 minutes. And I could have, like, talked to, like, found out if he was into Emily, or if Emily had been flirting with him. I could have, like, been a creep. And just the entire time, I was doing absolutely anything else. I was talking about the fucking weather. I was talking about math class. I didn't know what I was talking about. Anything to not actually be doing what the game wanted me to do. And I still got in trouble with Emily about it.
Was there like any way to bypass that, like
I
to
was-
not do that?
I was trying so hard. But probably there was probably a way that I could have steered the direction of the game into not doing that. But I might have just like hit the wrong button at a certain time and Matt gave up his account. But it's good to know that I'm playing the third game thinking it's the first game.
Hey, but if you play the first and second games, you'll have a lot more perspective on the third game, I feel. Because it is all the same characters.
Yeah, it's all the same characters. It's Matt.
You'll have a lot more history
Yeah,
with
it's
Emily.
Matt, Ava, Emily, and
Kyle.
Matt's girlfriend. don't remember what Matt's girlfriend is. I never talked to her.
It does sound like a very interesting
It is
game.
a very interesting game, and they bring up like real world, like time period accurate things. Like Emily is constantly sending me playlists of like music from 2008. That is actually kind of cool because it's like reminding me of songs that I actually do like, because she likes like Coldplay and the Prodigy and things like that. And it's just super interesting because she sends
I
you.
think depending on your choices, she actually does have different music tastes.
Really? She
Huh.
always seems to be into like indie and occasionally house.
Well, yeah, but it seems like if you are a different kind of way, she'll send you different kind of music.
Really? I didn't know that.
Not in the like, it'll be more mainstream, but it'll be like, oh, it's like your choices matter because she sees you as a different kind of person.
Yeah.
So she sends you music that she thinks you'll like, and she sends you different music because you're not the same person.
Really? Okay. That's interesting.
I mean, that's just a hunch. I feel like I saw that in the first game.
I know that like in some of the interactions you can like disappoint her by not being into the same music as she is. Or like you can steer yourself onto Ava's path by choosing different music routes. But it isn't. I don't know. Apparently, I don't know that much about the game actually. After all, because I have played the wrong
You've
game.
only played You've only played the last game in the series.
Yeah.
It happens, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm dumb. But I guess.
I mean, I only played the Civ 6.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of catching up to do if I want the lore to make any sense.
Oh yeah, world history. I think I've got your lore. I think I got a textbook about it in like the 3rd grade.
Ugh.
It's horribly inaccurate.
Just
But
watch.
yeah, 'cause it's only
watch
American
Drunk
history.
Yeah.
Just watch Drunk History. It's better.
Drunk history got
Everyone-
canceled.
Everyone knows
Oh,
the
I
simple
didn't
narrative
know
taught in
that.
history class is demonstrably false and pedagogically classist. Like, come on.
Yeah, those words.
Yo ass just spit out a whole dictionary.
I have a lexicon of verbiage in my cranium. I'm
Yeah.
quite loquacious and verbose.
My vernacular is quite expansive.
Ah, yes. I have a big dictionary.
Yes. I am quite well educated.
I'm quite the cunning linguist.
Yes. Anyway,
I'm just fucking over it.
Just ask my wife. What?
yes, we can check your
Yes.
receipts, sir.
Oh, yes. Feel free.
All right,
hey,
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, Satin, get me out of this.
Yes, Satin, please help. Anybody have any questions about Emily is Away? The 3rd game, apparently.
Uh,
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. When are you gonna play the 1st and 2nd game now?
When I finish the 3rd game.
Yeah, you got to play them in reverse order now.
You know, you have to play 2 and then you have to play 1.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that each of these games is completely playable on its own.
I'm sure it is, but it would be really cool if your previous games had save data that you could access.
Well, that would have been really cool.
You just have to replay the 3rd game.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I started playing Amnesia, thinking I was playing the 1st game, and then I played the wrong one. Because I'm currently playing Machine for Pigs, thinking it was the 1st one.
Womp womp.
Yep. All because I wanted to actually play the bunker, but I had to catch up first. Anyway, Saturn,
Yep.
go game.
What you got, Bumbleclat?
All right.
Hurry up,
So I
dog.
was-
Show us what you got.
so as
Save
I
the
said-
best
I
for
want to
last.
see what you got.
as I've said before, I had 2 in mind. The first was, well, the what I'm going to do here is a little game called Singularity. What is Singularity? Well, first-person shooter that's roughly 12 years old now at this point. Was released back in 2012. So, of course, all the fucking COD fanboys wanted to play it.
Yeah.
Does this have any relation to the Singularity 2022 release?
No, not at all. This is singular, its own thing. What happens through a bit of the story? You play as a American soldier who makes his way over to a island near Russia or whatnot that you were doing experiments at during the Cold War because one of your satellites got knocked the fuck out of the sky
Oh shit!
to investigate what happens.
My 5G went down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh-oh.
Um,
It came for our internet.
apparently on this island they were researching an element. Element's called E99. I presume its actual name is actually just stellinium. So
Ah, yes. Stellinium.
the fucking
Stellinium?
Russian steel, the one thing that could withstand so much
It's
bullshit.
actually a really powerful alloy that is a combination of steel and communism.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
From the Russia.
Yeah, but
Our steel.
E99 has unique properties to it. One of which, and we're learning later, with like pretty early on in the story, is that it can somehow help mess with time.
Makes your gun reload faster.
No. I mean literally like ripping holes throughout time to where you're jumping back into the 60s.
Oh
damn.
shit.
Well,
Nice.
Those damn Ruskies.
yeah, and then you also, obviously, it's a fun game honestly because first-person shooter usually they can be kind of fun, with a good variety of weapons to it, ranging from like a kind of AK sort of weapon, shotgun. You can start with like a revolver sort of pistol, so but it's fairly good. Eventually gets to the batshit stuff like a handheld minigun and a grenade launcher, but hey,
Handheld.
Oh,
Wait, hold on. Handheld minigun.
yeah,
How
it's like
exactly does that work?
it, I, to be honest, communism. Or actually, no,
Alright,
it's
cool.
legit democracy.
Ah, spreading democracy by force.
My life for Super
Bullet by
Earth.
bullet.
My life for Super Earth. For
Each bullet-
democracy.
Each bullet is a piece of democracy.
I would say it's not, even the,
Ah,
it's not even the most
gotta
fun.
gotta love spreading freedom seeds.
Yes.
Oh
I would say it's
God.
not even the most fun weapon because the most fun weapon is a gun called the Seeker.
The Seeker.
Yes, the Seeker is simplistic in what it does. When you're aiming down sights and you fire the gun, you then control the bullet.
Oh, there's an entire game like that.
Oh, it's like the Batarang in the Arkham series that you control.
No,
Yeah,
it's
pretty
much.
Have you checked out Children of the Sun yet?
No, I haven't checked out Children of the Sun.
You should.
I just immediately think of Children of the Corn when you say that.
Not that.
There's, a,
But anyways,
there's,
yeah,
there's an entire sniper game about only having one shot, but you can control the bullet midair, kind of
Yeah,
like
it's
that
called
one
Children
movie
of the
Wanted.
Sun.
Is
Fair
that
enough.
the whole game?
Yeah, it's the whole game.
Oh, you can control the bullet like in Wanted, where you can curve the bullet around objects.
Yeah, you can control the bullet as you fire, and it's just level
But
after level
anyways.
of that.
Continue.
But anyways, yeah. So the gun, you can of course control the bullet. Its trajectory is going. Apparently, having E99 infused rounds does that. We can control the goddamn rounds.
You can control the bullet with your mind.
Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that the bullets explode upon impact because they explode on fucking impact?
Fuck
Damn.
yeah, freedom.
Yeah. So it is a off gun. Like yeah, it's like
America, fuck
Oh,
yeah.
American. This can only go so well.
I just imagine the bullet comes
But
out
anyways,
of the gun
these
just
very-
screaming, "I love America." Just America.
You know, every
fuck
time
yeah.
every time you shoot the bullet, a fucking bald eagle screech.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
Every
but
time
also-
you murder someone with it, a bald eagle gets his wings.
I will say that the classic screech that you hear from a bald eagle is actually the call of a red-tailed hawk, but go off.
Yep.
But anyways, there are some other things. For example, there's stuff all around for like upgrading the weapons and also keeping yourself healthy with like health packs.
Wall
But-
chicken.
No, they're little just health packs.
Oh, not wall chicken. Sad.
But anyways, the most important thing about it, I do mean most important thing,
Mm-hmm.
is the actual item that's main basis throughout the entirety of the thing. That is the TMD. What does TMD stand for? Time Manipulation Device. It's basically what allows you to open up these rifts to travel back and forth between like 1960s and present 2012. It also has a unique thing where because the place has been like left alone for 50 fucking years, you can actually use it to manipulate time and revert things back to either new or old.
Ah.
So, say there's this writing on the wall you can't read. Boom, hit it with TMD. Now you can read the writing and what it says, and usually it's just messages throughout all of
Gotta
it, just
love
telling
the
you to
video
go.
game MacGuffin.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
Just the fucking rewind button off. Reminds me
Yeah.
of that movie, The Click.
I was
I was thinking Life is Strange.
saying
That
you
too.
Actually-
It does remind me of Life is Strange.
This actually reminds me of a lesser known Zelda game called Oracle of Ages, where like it's kind of like how the Dark World and Link to the Past, where like you can travel between like different worlds, except like it's traveling like between like hundreds of years in the past and present day, and like you use that to like solve mechanics. Like I don't know.
But yeah, I would say it has other effects. Not only can you just like force time to like open up rifts in time and also like age or DH things.
I'd
But what
love
it can
to kill people just by aging them.
you can in fact do that and turn them into a pile of ash.
Oh shit. I
Oh,
was-
like the Last
You
Crusade.
can also, if you put enough of the because it runs off of E99. If you pump enough E99 energy into a person, you can not only turn them to ash, but you can also turn them into a horribly disfigured monster.
Oh god.
Um,
Could you just de-age them into harmless babies that can't shoot you?
no. It's just to age them forward into fucking like ash. It could also
turn them into fetuses. How's the sperm? Oh god.
Just comes to
Yeah.
the floor.
You
My
could also,
God.
you could also other things that are notable of it is you can send forth a blast of energy, like E99 energy, just to basically turn somebody into a fucking pile of meat chunks with it, because it just blows them apart.
Gibbs, gotta love him.
But you can also create a little orb that if you throw it, it'll slow time in an area, so you can get through like stuff that's moving too fast. And also at one point it becomes infinite. Like it can run out of energy, but at some point, like near the end of the game, it becomes infinite energy, so you can just keep blasting the fucking pulse, just beating the shit out of people.
Right. That actually now.
But the more important part about it, and I think the part that makes it actually a bit more interesting, is the very much horror aspect that's involved with it.
Please
Oh.
tell.
So, mainly, the first part of it is actual, like, horror and, like, terrifying, because you start off with, like, no weapon, there's nobody around.
You had my attention. Now you have my interest.
There's really nobody around. It's an abandoned, like, Russian military complex that was once actually like a home. It's like Pripyat.
Ah.
Like, the fucking... Or, like, yeah, Pripyat, Chernobyl, like, where all that nuclear radiation
Oh.
went to. It's like that.
Live at the military blockade.
It's E99 bullshit.
This kind of also makes me think of like a weirder, weird in a different way, Silent Hill type shit.
This came out in 2010, right?
This came, I think, 2010, 2012 area.
You said 2012
Why
earlier.
is it $30?
Because it's still a good game.
I know. Does it have a giant two-headed
Oh,
radioactive
2010.
looking giant in it?
You'll have to send me an image.
How do I
But anyways,
steal an
it
image
is-
from Steam?
But anyways, yeah, it is like it's fun. But yeah, the horror elements of it are really fucking good. Like, because it is scary bitch like when you're alone, it has those action sequences where you're taking out multiple soldiers and whatnot, or like multiple hordes of monsters.
Experimental time Yeah, this
But
is
then there's those moments where it's quiet and nothing's attacking you that's concerning, especially in the early parts of it, because in the beginning parts of the game, you're in like the residential area. So this is where like all the families, the scientists that were working there were at. One of the main sections you go through is a fucking elementary school.
Of
Oh
course.
no.
Goddamn creepy kids.
And
Oh.
yeah, you know what doesn't help with that? The fact that while you're on the island, you're getting like time hallucination flashbacks the entire time. So you're seeing like children walking around the halls, and then all of a sudden a monster kicks down the fucking doors at the end of the hallway and starts bum rushing you.
Yeah, well, I have found out why it's so expensive. This shit was made by Activision.
That makes sense.
That's the only unfortunate. Like, it is an Activision product, so I don't know how you all feel about that, but
I don't
Activision
hate.
they have
I
made good games.
Yeah,
They're just a
they're
fucked up
fine.
company.
They're
Yeah.
just
Yep.
expensive.
yeah, they're a fucked up company, unfortunately. But this was a time when they made good games.
I really can't. As fucking horrible as much as I would love to bash Activision, I bash their business practices all day, but I don't think they make bad games.
Yeah, I
No.
love their games. They
Like, yeah.
make good product at least.
Yeah.
They're
so-
just shitty.
Yeah, in terms
Then
of their
again-
ethics, they're really pieces of shit. In
Yeah.
terms of what they can put out, holy fuck.
Hey, they're better than EA.
Amazing developers held back by shitty businessmen. Gotta hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, they're
but-
better than EA.
Way better
Yeah,
than Blizzard.
Way
That's-
better
that's
than
not-
Blizzard.
That's not a huge bar though.
No, it's not.
No, but it's a surprisingly difficult bar to clear for big AAA titles.
Yep.
Yeah. But so if you ever want to play if you want to be an American soldier who crashes down on your helicopter or gets hit by a fucking EMP and go through a residential area of a former Russian experiment with stellinium.
Stellinium, yes.
Stellinium bullets.
Yeah, only going through their houses and like lives here, only to then turn the corner and start getting butt fucked by some disfigured human being that's been manipulated by the energy, or in some cases, motherfuckers that are jumping back and forth between placements in time. Oh, and did I forget to mention that there's boss fights? Yeah, there's motherfucking boss fights in this shit. And the boss fights are fun. So
I
yeah,
can imagine with all the shit you could do in that world.
oh yeah, no, I mean it's a very straightforward, simple like first-person shooter that has a story you go through. There's not a whole lot really in the side quest department. It's just you're going through like sections of the island at a time. Like it's a clear-cut story, just point A, point B type shit going through. Like,
But with
it
like a
is sim-
time mechanic.
Yeah, well, time manipulation mechanic. There's not really like an actual time limit placed on it, but it is genuinely a fun game. If you ever get a chance to spend the apparent $30 price tag on the motherfucker,
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. Like,
It kind of also
very
reminds me
good.
of a game I haven't played, but I've seen. I think it's called like Control or some shit like that.
Control?
Maybe.
Yeah, I've been playing. Well, I haven't been playing it, but I've played it. And Control is a lot of fun, and it's
Yeah.
super well made.
so any questions? Any questions for me about mine? Like,
I don't know.
I
Like,
think
I
you did a great job.
yeah, you did. You
I
explained it
think
pretty
we're
well.
all
Yes.
I think we're all just tired because
Being
I'm-
as about to
I'm
pass
good.
out.
I've got an energy drink.
yeah, fuck
I
you.
drank an energy drink and I'm still dying.
Well,
Yeah.
I have
Well,
6
energy
more on the
drink.
ground.
These things are horrible.
You want to pass one through the mic, bud?
Yeah, I'll bring one over real quick.
Yeah, but for any that don't know, when we're recording this, we start at 11 o'clock at night.
This is the late
and it
late
is
show.
currently- yeah, I'm saying, and it is currently tomorrow.
Yeah, it is currently today. Or the morning.
It's always today.
It is always
Maybe we'll
today.
have a better schedule. Maybe not. Who
No, we
knows?
won't.
No, we won't.
We'll lose a certain charm if we do it while we're all
I'm a-
awake.
I'm a
Yeah.
stoner. I'm a stoner. My schedule's always. I'm always gonna be sleepy.
Yeah, but how are we gonna have guests on at
But
fuck
anyways,
all hours?
Well, we've done it before.
yeah, true.
Well, we got the one who can't make it, so
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
working
no,
on
we
that.
we have
I
a
think
a
that-
European guest who can't make it because
I
it's
think
that-
3 a.m. when we record.
Yeah, we're gonna
I
work
think
on
that's
that.
all of us.
I do
like-
believe that is all of us. Any closing statements from you people?
Maybe
Shout
sometime
out
near
to these.
future I'll
Shout
get.
out to. Go ahead.
I say maybe sometime near future I'll get to the other game I was saying that was on my list.
Yeah.
'Cause I said two, so maybe we'll get to the
Yeah,
other ones at some point.
I have a few more hidden gem games that I would love to talk about.
yes.
I'm sure
Same.
this will not be the last time we
Yeah,
do hidden
because
gems.
the game I actually meant to talk about at the beginning of this episode, that I just realized that everyone was bringing like a kind of gritty title, so I changed mine up. I was gonna talk about a game called Alice Madness Returns, which is a super cool game, and I would love to talk about it sometime.
I actually have the game on my Xbox, and I've been meaning to play it, and I haven't touched it.
Yeah, it's super good.
I've got another obscure
say-
indie game made by a solo developer that I'd like to talk about.
I'm
So
sure you
The
do.
last thing I would have to say
It was
is,
really-
unfortunately, Bloodrayne will never have a third one, considering Terminal Reality is dead as a dead company.
Well, yeah, that happens.
I just wanted to shout out all these wonderful indie developers who make these wonderful hidden games.
Yes.
And then
Congratulations to the ones that come out and make it big. Shout out to my personal favorite, the Indie Stone. Love your logo. It's a pie. It's great.
Hey, you know what? Next, we're gonna do another version of this soon, and I'm just gonna say this on episode right now, so we're forced to do it. Let's do this again soon, but Flash games.
yes.
Oh God, old Flash games.
Yes.
Oh my god,
I'm gonna have to find.
those
No,
used
but
to
I
be
have
my
to find an old.
shit.
I have to find a hidden gem Flash game,
Or just
even
a
though the
Flash,
Flash
game.
doesn't exist.
Let's just play
Are
a
Flash games-
game from the Flash era. We actually have to play it again, and then we'll come back and report on it.
Those,
Wait,
those
wait.
were my shit.
Oh,
back
I've
in
already
the day.
got one. I've already got several. Actually, I've got a whole series.
Wait.
I got
I
a
have-
whole bunch too.
I would say-
Yeah.
I don't know if it counts because I don't know the full definition for Flash game here. But do you any of you know the little game that was like 50 levels, and you would run around as a little alien like space, and you would like kind of platforming, but you're going like.
I know what you're talking about. I can't for the life of me remember what
Guys.
that name
Yeah, I
is.
think
What
I
that
know
game
that.
is
Guys,
called.
What?
What?
there's a quest to do.
There was a quest.
We have a quest to do. We have to get back to the main quest.
Oh yes, yes. Main quest. That's what you're
Ah.
doing. Yes. We have. Thank you. We would have talked all night.
I know you would have.
Anyway,
Right.
let's get back to the main quest, everyone. We'll get back to ours. You'll get back to yours. And we'll be back next week for another side quest. Thank you guys. We'll see you.
Bye.
See you,
Well.
bumble sluts.
Peace.